Welcome to the Catholic Word, your on-the-go rosary podcast. And now your host, Chicago radio personality and lector at St. Clement Catholic Church, Brian Peck.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Catholic Word. This is Brian Peck, as Allison just said. And recently I visited the Michelangelo Sistine Chapel exhibition. It's going on over at Brook Mall as we speak, as a matter of fact. And I spoke with Dakota Laurine from the SBX group who is putting on this exhibition. And simply I asked him, why were they doing this?
Kind of with COVID, obviously events got shut down, professional sports got shut down, all sorts of different things. So our company really, took a step back and started looking at different ways to be able to, bring entertainment, bring special experiences to people. And this Sistine Chapel exhibit, we work with a group called C Entertainment, and we partner on a variety of different events and exhibitions. The Sistine Chapel one it seems to make sense. It's, timed entry, you can control capacities, you can make sure people can still social distance, it's contactless, et cetera, et cetera. So this made sense for us kind of, during COVID and during that unique time in human history. And this, exhibit is unique because obviously it gives you the opportunity to view Michelangelo's work in the Sistine Chapel up close and personal, within a couple feet of you. And I don't know if you've ever been fortunate enough to visit the Sistine Chapel.
And I told Dakota here that's definitely on my bucket list, but I wanted to know how they recreated all these paintings with such incredible detail.
That is, it's an interesting story. So our partner organization, C Entertainment, they actually have the exclusive license to the Vatican's official photographers. And so with that license, our team kind of took the, digital images and took 2 years to find the right material to print these images out in their life-size form. The reason it took so long is because Michelangelo did this in fresco style. So it's when you paint on wet plaster, and it has a very unique texture and form that obviously you don't want to, you don't want to fall short on, and you want these to be as close to the originals as possible. And so it took 2 years to find the right material that really brought out the fresco look and feel. And what kind of came out of it was these, life-size recreations of all of Michelangelo's work. So the 33 ceiling frescoes and then the Last Judgment as well.
Yeah, and first off, and I've already done the tour, and I have to say the recording that you have that goes with it is key. That if you really want to get the story on every fresco, every painting, you want to have the recording.
Absolutely. I mean, it's, the recording runs about 65 minutes total, but it just gives you so much more detail on, what's depicted, what Michelangelo was trying to say, kind of, beyond just what you're seeing there, but, little subtleties that he's built in and how he's interpreting these different stories from the Bible or different, religious characters who are of great significance. And kind of, you get an understanding of, Michelangelo's interpretation, the kind of, broader interpretation of the artwork as well. And then also these, little stories of Michelangelo himself throughout. And so if you have the time to do it, I absolutely recommend doing it.
And Dakota did supply me with the actual recordings that you get to listen to as you go through the tour. And here's just a little sample.
The 9 frescoes of the ceiling vault can be divided into 3 groups. The painting, The Sacrifice of Noah, rounds off the first group. The occasion for the sacrifice is Noah's gratitude at having been saved from the flood. Michelangelo adopts a closed composition for his figures. He has arranged the participants in a circle around the altar in the center of the picture.
Yeah, so there's just a little bit of a sample of the audio-enhanced tour, and I highly recommend that you use that when you go see the Michelangelo exhibit at the Brook Mall. I went on to talk with Dakota about Michelangelo's painting style. He was so religious, and yet there was no words to describe his style because it was brand new.
Absolutely. It's, as you were saying, even beyond the kind of obvious religious significance of this, it is just a true testament of human achievement. It took him 5 years to paint the 33 ceiling frescoes. 20 years later, he was invited back, and it took him another 5 years to paint the Last Judgment. And so, the way in which he had to paint on the roof with his neck craned up on the scaffolding, the sheer size of the Last Judgment, which is 40 by 40, it's extraordinary for a human being to be able to do that, especially in that time period where, it's remarkable today, in today's day and age, when we got all this technology, machines, so on and so forth. But this was, way back in the day when those little advantages didn't exist, and he still found a way to do it.
And by the way, I will say I would love to go to the Sistine Chapel, but it is nice to see them without having your head pointed straight up and being, 80 feet away probably. You get to see this up close, and that's the really cool thing about this.
Absolutely. And it's, the fact that you can really get up, within a foot or two of the paintings, see the detail, you get to see the individual brushstrokes, the actual color in it. And, it certainly doesn't replace the Sistine Chapel, but it is the next best thing. And it is, if you've ever seen the Sistine Chapel, it is a way to see it in an entirely different perspective. Like you mentioned, your neck's not craned up. You're not getting rushed around or shushed. You're allowed to take pictures, right? You're allowed to sit there and, talk with your friend about what the interpretation is and what he's trying to say. And it's a very different experience in the Sistine Chapel, and that was part of our goal with this, was to, everything that people wish they could have experienced at the Sistine Chapel, let's try to put that together in this exhibit.
Well, Dakota, one more thing. How do we get tickets? What's the easiest way to purchase tickets and book a time to come here?
For sure. So we are here until August 15th at the Brook Center, open Wednesday to Sunday. You can purchase tickets online at SistineChapelExhibit.com. You'll hit the Chicago icon there, book tickets button, and that will bring you to our webpage, and you can pre-order tickets. Additionally, we do have walk-up tickets set aside. So if you are near the Brook Center and want to swing by, or for whatever reason you're in the area and just decide you want to come through, please do, and we will absolutely be able to accommodate.
Well, thanks again to Dakota Laurine from the SBX Group, who is putting on the Michelangelo Sistine Chapel exhibit. It's going on through August 15th at Oak Brook Center. I highly recommend this, and I tell you this, not under compensation. I'm getting paid absolutely nothing. I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will tell you, if you go, definitely ask for the headphones so you can have the audio-enhanced tour with that lovely British voice you heard earlier. She explains every painting throughout the exhibition, and it's so much fun. I will have a link on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, Twitter, all that at the Catholic Word Podcast. Hey, thanks for listening. Bless you, and peace be with you.